Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer Long of Be So Inspired, and I'm happy you're joining me here today. Today we're going to learn how to make stuffed donuts with both felt and fabric and a few other things. It's going to be great fun, and I'm so glad you're here for the party. Let's get started. So, what you're going to need. You're going to need some felt. This is Benzie felt. You're going to need a fusible paper-backed interfacing. So I'm using this Heat and Bond Light Sewable Iron-On adhesive. And it's great. You can iron on both sides, and I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. You'll need some embroidery thread, a pair of scissors, and some wonderful imagination and fabrics. So let's get started. If you go to my website, there's a tutorial that I will link it here. And there's a SVG file, so you can use your Cricut Maker or any cutting machine to cut out these pieces. If you don't have a cutting machine, you can just print out the PDF template, and it will, and you can trace it on and cut it out. So you're going to need to have the donut with the hole. You're going to need 2 of the circle pieces. So I've cut 2 of the felt pieces out, and then I'm going to back a 6-inch square of my favorite fabric with this light sewable interfacing. I'll follow the directions on the back and iron on it on the back. I put it in my cutting machine or trace it out and cut out my piece, and it looks like this. How this stuff works is you'll just, once it's ironed on and it cools down, you just peel it off, and if you can see, there's this wonderful kind of like dry but plasticky, shiny film on the back, and you'll line it up and iron it down here. Now I should mention that this Benzie felt is a wool blend felt, so I am able to iron it. If you are using a synthetic felt, you are going to need to have a covering sheet, a pressing sheet over top, or if your iron is too hot, it's going to melt your synthetic felt. So this is a wool felt, and it's wonderful for ironing. Once you've got that piece down, we are going to use our embroidery floss. I used 3 strands of this floss, and you're going to do a blanket stitch all the way around. So one way to think of a blanket stitch, and we can give you tutorials of that other times, but I sort of drew this wonderful diagram. So if this is your fabric facing you, and this is your donut on top, you're going to come up in through the first hole on the side. Making an L over, you're going to come in the second hole, and then you come back up. But as you come up, you're going to catch that string. So if you know how to do a blanket stitch already, that's great. If not, we'll refer you to another tutorial. You're going to do a blanket stitch all the way around. We've done all of these stitches in our Inspired Doll Making Facebook group, which is a free group to join, and there's tons of free content in there as well. Stuffing it. So before you go ahead and stuff it, once your donut is together, you're going to turn your 2 ends sewn together. You're going to turn your 2 pieces over. You can pin it around here, and you're going to sew. If it's got a hole in the middle, you're going to sew around the entire perimeter 1/8 of an inch. So you can sew around the whole perimeter because your hole's in the center, and you're going to turn it out from the inside. If you are making a full donut with the filling inside, you'll have to leave an opening here to do this stitch. So let's say you've done this one, you've sewn all the way around, and you've turned it inside out. If it's turned inside out, now it looks like this, and we're going to stuff and close it. But don't stuff it first. This is the trick. So I'm going to take my thread again, and I'm going to do a blanket stitch all the way around till about 3/4 of the way around, leaving the opening. Then I'll take my knitting needle and stuff the whole donut, leaving my string attached. I'll stuff the whole donut, and then I will finish that blanket stitch at the end. All right, and you'll have a donut that looks like this. If you're going to do a full donut, then all you need to do is do an invisible stitch at the end, and I've started one here. And an invisible stitch or a ladder stitch, basically you come in on one side, so it's coming across, and you go in on the other side, and when you pull that together, it disappears. It's like magic. So I would just continue to do that on both sides, and then when you pull it, it comes invisible. Good. So you would just do that on your donut, and that's how simple and easy your donuts are. So you can use all kinds of different fabrics that you want, all kinds of different materials for your donuts. I can't wait to see what you create with your donuts. So thank you for joining me here. If you like this video, please give us a like. If you want to go to the Be So Inspired website and grab those free PDF patterns or the free SVG pattern, love to have you there. Make sure you join the doll making newsletter to find out more about stuffed fun treats to make and other fun activities. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for